Okay, I'm gonna be real. I have recorded probably about an hour's worth of footage of trying to play games, of trying to find something to do with my library on Steam, and a lot of it just kind of fell through. So I decided I was gonna go ahead and record this video, which is just gonna be talking about gaming in my life and how I've uh, almost centered my life around video games. And how as I approach the end of college, I am kind of falling out of video games in a way, except for the fact that I still have my few games, but I've not been playing video games like I always used to. So we'll kind of get started with just talking about video games in my life because they've played a significant role. Um, I grew up a gamer. My dad was a gamer. I Since I could hold the controller. Hell, I probably didn't even hold the controller. I probably seen it laying there and I tried to play it. I've played video games my entire life. There's never been a moment in my life where I wasn't in front of a screen for at least a quarter of my day. And I think that it has contributed to both a lot of my issues, but also a lot of my strengths. Because I see myself playing video games when I should be doing other things. But it's not like I'm playing video games mindlessly. When I'm playing a video game, I'm thinking. I am coming up with new ideas. I'm coming up with solutions to problems within that game, or I'm thinking about school, or I'm thinking about whatever. Um, but it's become growing up. It was always an issue where I would play too many video games. I would get home from school. I might do some chores on occasion. And I'd do my homework when it suited because I was a smart kid. I never had to worry about homework most of my school life. Teachers assigned homework, I'd do it the morning before, right before I go into class, and it'd be done and I'd have a good grade. It was a problem because it's definitely affected me in college where I can't do that, not at all. So I had to adapt and I had to grow and I had to learn that video games aren't the die all end all. But I definitely found a safe place in video games growing up because I didn't have a lot going for me at the time because I had just lost my dad when I was, 7 years old, and I was struggling every day to do any schoolwork. I struggled to do anything, and I'd come home from school or I'd be home on the weekend, and mm, people would see me maybe twice throughout the day where I'd go down to get food or use the bathroom. And it got to be a problem. And I kind of have realized over the last few years that like my obsession with video games isn't just a hobby. It was legitimately a way for me to cope and for me to deal with things because I never had necessarily the same stability. I never gave myself the same stability, and I always found stability in games because I could make a character and I could make that character be what I wanted them to be, and uh it never left. I always played games. I never had to stop for any reason except for maybe being grounded once in a while. But I've always had that, and as I get older, I'm realizing that I'm starting to see video games almost as a chore because of the connection I've made with them. And I don't want that because I love it. I love gaming. I love video games. I want to be a game developer. I want to see I want to see the game industry grow to be even better than what it already is with virtual reality and augmented reality and just the sheer amount of interactivity and graphics and story that we can put into a game now compared to 10 years ago whenever I was obsessed with them. Like I could not get off a video game. But I've here recently I've just not been able to bring myself to play mini games. I'll play Warframe and I play RuneScape on occasion. RuneScape pisses me off right now. Whole different issue. Might make a rant video about that content. But I think that video games have definitely played a central part in my disassociation from the world and made me kind of question um, where I am, because I mean I get home most days and I'll play a game, I'll listen to music, whatever, and I don't think about it. But I look back on myself even just a year ago, and I'd get depressed, and I'd have homework to work on, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. I couldn't bring myself to do anything other than sit and play a video game for a few hours. Maybe, whatever. Just I mean, I was gaming because I couldn't do anything else. And I felt myself start to hate gaming for that exact reason, which is what was terrifying me, because I love gaming. Gaming is my heart, it's my home. I could lose most of the stuff in my life as long as I can find a game and I can sit and I can get that connection. I'm happy. But I feel myself pushing away from them, and I don't want that. So I'm taking a different approach on everything, and I'm kind of stepping back from it, and kind of I'm playing the games that I want to play. I'm not trying to force myself to do anything. Um, games that I do regular things in, like daily tasks or whatever, I've put on the back burner at this point. If I get the daily, I do. If I don't, I don't. The games I play for complete fun. I don't do it because I want to progress the account, which has always been my issue, as I focus on progression, not on the joy. And I think I'm turning it more into progression in my own life. All that progression that I was putting into games was because I couldn't find the progression in my life. And I couldn't find how to progress what I was dealing with and how to deal with my emotions so I could progress in my own life and do better and create things and make this right here, this video. I couldn't bring myself to do anything of this sort. And I think that taking a step back from gaming a little bit, making the progress I get in a game sheer fun, not because I want to get further. Um, and that's why the main reason I started over Warframe. RuneScape, I mean, I got my 99 fishing, and that was probably my point for RuneScape. That I was done for a minute. I still play, but not like I used to. But I think that I need to focus on me, and I have not let myself focus on me because gaming has taken such a control in my life. So I think that I've hit my points. So I'm gonna leave you with some questions. Do you find yourself playing a video game, watching a TV show, uh, reading a book, and it's always been something you've enjoyed doing, but as you sit and do it, you're not feeling that same connect you always did? Do you question if you're doing this because you're enjoying it actually enjoying it, or because it's what always brought you enjoyment? Are you willing to accept that you might have to find new hobbies? Can you give up on your old habits and start new, even if you don't see it as a habit? I mean, I gaming was always a habit for me, and there's times where I'll catch myself just gaming because I'm doing it out of boredom, and I burn myself out. And I just do you ever feel that way? Do you have any issues with the things that you've always enjoyed that you want to see change? Gaming in specific for me, but I mean, what are your thoughts? Do you, I mean, as a gamer, I have a very hard, you know, point on believing that video games don't have you don't have a problem with video games, you have a problem with addiction. But I know that, and I just think that I let that addiction take over, and I've ruined something that I've always enjoyed for myself. So let's I'll leave it there. How about you know the questions I asked, just have you felt this way before? Have you ever been enjoying something for so long just to feel like you're growing to hate it almost, or you've grown to not enjoy it as much? And are you open to finding new hobbies and maybe trying a new way of doing what you've always done? Because we all need to sometimes. We all got to adapt. We all change, even if we don't want to. We're all changing. So let's figure out what we can do to help some of that change keep some of our favorite things, I guess, is the way I'm trying to put it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Uh, I don't know how this video is going to go. I think that I hit my points, and I definitely enjoyed talking. Um, I hope to hear some responses from you guys. I hope my questions give you enough to go off of. Just, I want to hear your thoughts. Do you deal with addiction in any form? Food, games, I mean, drugs are the obvious one we all hear about, and alcohol, but everything can be addictive. I'm addicted to pop. I'm addicted to cigarettes. I'm addicted to everything. I'm an addictive person. So, have you seen addictions ruin things you enjoy? Have you seen have you seen yourself not enjoy something because you've gotten addicted to it? It just What are your thoughts? I want to hear how you're feeling. But I'm going to call the video. Thank you for watching. I appreciate the view. I appreciate the time you've taken to watch this video. So leave a like, a dislike, whatever you feel, a comment, and subscribe, because it all helps me out. It helps me know that there are people who want to hear how I feel, who want to talk about stuff, and want to make this content enjoyable for both of us, because I want this to be a community. I want us to be a team, and I want us to help each other in every way we can, because we're in a weird place in the world right now. 2020 has been a mess in the nicest way to say it. So let's just take a moment and realize that we can all come together and make a community and be there for each other and help each other understand things. And I want to be a perpetuator of that. I want us to all come together, and I want this to be a community for everyone who feels like they don't have a voice, or feels like they don't understand their mind, who wants to get an idea out there and hear it from someone who is, dealt with my own stuff, who has worked through a lot of my issues, and maybe give you a different outlook. Everyone needs a new set of eyes sometimes, and I would like to be those eyes. And maybe some fellow, commenters, or, other content creators, I can come along and we'll talk, and I just want this to be a growing place for all of us. So thank you again. I hope you enjoyed. This is Jim, signing off.